This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence the name of the podcast. And today I have Anna Workman. And I'm gonna let her tell you more about what she does. But first, Anna, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I'm glad that your video is doing better now. So hopefully it stays good throughout the podcast. So let's give us a quick introduction about yourself and your company.
Yes, well, my name is Anna, and I help school districts find speech therapists. So I own my own agency, and I coach speech therapists to become a six-figure SLP, short for speech language pathologist.
Awesome. Yeah, I never heard about SLPs before until I met you. So there was something uh, definitely to talk about because I knew that about them. I just didn't know that was a term and all these things. So how so you not only you help them to become, rather than just working for schools and doing like low paying jobs, you help them to make six figures. Is that correct?
Yes, because in this country, only 10% of all SLPs, I'll use SLPs because it's shorter, all SLPs make six figures or more, only 10%. So on average, we make about 50 to 60K a year. However, there is a 10% that's making more. So there's something they know, and I'm part of that 10%. So now what I would like to do is help them discover that secret.
Yeah, and can you repeat like what a SLP said it means, just in case of just kind of reiterate?
Yes, of course. So SLP stands for speech language pathologist, and
Okay, cool.
short for speech therapist.
Okay, perfect. I like it. Because one time it's definitely not gonna be enough for people. So that's why I'm trying to like hammer that down so people get it. So then what kind of advice or actionable tips do you have for people that are some that like speech therapy field, or maybe something that applies even to just business leaders in general, that you have for the audience?
Well, yeah. So the other side of my business is where I hire speech therapists. So I'm the middleman, or I guess you would call that the headhunter. And so I go and find, leads, and, create connections with school districts and also employees, the future prospective employees, in order to match them together. And they become obviously my employees, and I pay them like health insurance and everything else that goes along with it. And it's right now what I'm doing now is growing the company. And that's, for any other company, is a challenge, because there's, it's knowing what the process is and how to increase your leads, which I call optimax, like how to optimize and maximize your leads in order for you to get more clients and eventually more revenue.
Awesome. I like the Optimax. That's definitely a good takeaway here. Just like that word, like optimize and maximize, right? Like it's like something I never heard, so it's kind of cool. So what challenges and friction points? I mean, there's probably many, but what are some of like the highlights, maybe the top two challenges and friction points that you've seen from people that you help them overcome to be able to get to generate more than six figures and more? Yeah.
Mhm. With the coaching program, where I'm trying to get them to become six figures, and I'm actually helping them find employees themselves. That's a challenge because they come in thinking it's easy, and it's not that easy to employ. I mean, there's a lot of work in the beginning that you have to put in, and once they realize what it entails, fear gets in the way, and a lot of them freeze. They have this paralysis that happens where they don't want to move forward. But what I tell them, it's the freedom is on the other side of this fear, right? So you will get through it, and it's uncomfortable, but once you get through it, you get to experience and enjoy the freedom of what goes with it, which is more revenue and just able to do things your way, and just have like you just grow, right? But it is scary. I mean, I've been there myself, where you initially, what you have to do is even call, like, one of the Optimax is cold calls, one of many, right? That's just not, it's not the only one. There are other ways to increase your leads, but one of them, one big one, is calling people. And many times they are cold, they're not warm, they're cold. And so you have to face rejection, right? And no one likes to be rejected, but that's part of it. So part of success is being rejected.
No, yeah, I mean, and that this applies to any business, right? So that's why I saw the fit with you, because yes, you do specialize on SLPs, but this is something that just applies to any business. Like you want to not be working on a job that gets 60K or sometimes even less, and you want to build your own, it's not going to be easy. And it's something that you will have to embrace the fact that you will get rejected. Like, there's just no way to not get rejected. So you got to embrace that, and just be strong, and then know that you are providing something of value and you are reaching out to genuinely help. And if that person takes it the wrong way, then that's just, so sometimes we don't have control, right? Like, you can be spammy, and obviously you can have control of not being spammy. But if somebody takes something as spammy as just like, look, I just literally just thought that it was a good thing to call you, and if it wasn't, that's cool. Like, we don't have to take it to a bad place. So yeah, like, that's something that definitely any business leader can take away from this. So thank you for that. Is there any what are your biggest takeaways that you would like to leave the audience with? Just say, like, one or two of the biggest things that you would like to leave the audience with before we wrap this up.
One of the biggest takeaways, I would say, is we all have that little person, or that, right? I call it the little mind. We all have that little mind on our shoulder telling us, don't do it, that's too scary, you're crazy, you're gonna, this is going to happen, you are going to lose money, you're going to whatever it is, that little mind. And we all have it. So what I want to let the audience know is, don't hate on it. That's where the little mind is there for you. So thank it. Just grateful that is there, because it's meant to be there to help you, to keep you safe and protect you. But we can say, thank you, little mind, thank you for protecting me, but I'm still going to do this because I know I can do this, because I am fierce, because I am whatever. And then as you move forward, that little mind starts to get even smaller and not disappear, because there's always going to be that whatever you do, that little mind coming back and tell you, what if this happens? And you just have to have that conversation and say, thank you, but I'm still going to do that, because on the others, like I was saying, on the other side of fear is this freedom that we all want, right? The freedom to live life on our own terms. So, and that's something that I tell even my clients, because this is what I face on a weekly, monthly basis with them, is I'm scared to do that. Like I was just saying earlier, but I tell them, you want to be uncomfortable because that's where you grow. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Okay. And I know it's painful to be uncomfortable, and it's okay to take some steps back, but remember to keep moving forward, because we can be in pain forever. And I understand that we're not meant to be in pain forever for too long. And that is why we tend to go back. But we have to remember and keep that in mind, that every time that I am uncomfortable, I am growing.
I love it. I say this a lot of there's no growth in the comfort zone. So, you stay in the comfort zone, you're not gonna grow. So I completely agree with that. And something, the way that I was taught about this was by Kelly Gordon describes it as like your monster. And she says that I even talk about this on a podcast that I was being interviewed today. That is, your monster is not you, and it's not part of you. It's a defense mechanism that our reptilian brain, that's how she's also said, like our old, it's not being adjusted to flight or flight, right? Like just survival mode. Now we live on, like, we'll always have survival for the most part, right? Not everybody, unfortunately, but most people in that monster it's used to, like, oh no, like change is scary, you don't know what's up there, so stay here, we're comfortable here, there's no reason to move because there could be danger outside of this comfort zone. So it's cool to hear how, like, different people talk about the same thing, right? Like, you call, like, the little mind, and it becomes smaller, and then we look at it as, I mean, me and that community that we've been taught by Kelly Gordon, we look at it as the monster, and we just put it on a cage, and that's it. No, it's not part of us, that's not us, that's just that defense mechanism. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely something that I talk about, definitely very valuable. So
I like that.
I'm glad that we resonated on that. I think there was some pretty cool takeaways on this, like things that are good reminders of, look, change will be scary regardless of you're in, like, an SLP, like in that, like, speech industry or speech therapist, or you're an entrepreneur doing insurance, you are an entrepreneur doing a marketing agency, whatever the case may be. There's always gonna be that that monster, that little you, that little mind, like trying to stop you. So yeah, thank you for having this moment and recording this conversation with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
So there's gonna be some people, hopefully, maybe someone that is already in the speech world that might be interested in contacting you, or just people in general who might thought you were cool. So how can people find you?
Well, you can connect with me on my Facebook profile. That's the easiest way, Anna Workman. So it's my name, Anna Workman. Just find me on Facebook, and I, will just befriend me. Ask for a friend request, or just follow me, so either one is fine.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, I'll as long as you submitted your links to my team, we'll get those in the description. And thanks for being here and taking the time.
Thank you.
Okay, so this was Anna Workman and Fu, and this is us signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.